Hello everyone, and welcome to a Zenny62 on YouTube version of The Late Late Show. That's right. The Late Late Show normally starts after 1 o'clock on the East. And since we had games that went late, I figured, I'll contribute to I'll contribute to the whole idea of The Late Late Show, right? That as established by the great James Corden. Okay? So, let's say The Late Late Show, right? And don't know, let's see here. I've got, wow. This went from 0 to 10 like that. I've got 10 of you. And I'm using a different browser, so I'm going to have to switch browsers here. One is actually better than the other. Let me fire up I'm using the Chrome browser as I evaluate this, which is great for something called vidIQ. But then Firefox is better. Whereas I can see Jamal Mills, I can see the chats. How are you, Jamal? Yeah, it is really late. And but hello, Jamal. But on an uncharacteristic night, uncharacteristic to appear. Okay. Hey Barry, how are you? Did anybody see the game? Hey everybody, wow, all these folks are around. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All you all are, I figure you all be out Christmas shopping. Me, I was dealing with I wouldn't say dealing with, but tending to a sick mom. And, well, dealing with because, hey, my mom is sick and she's all I got. The emotions fly. I mean, it's just it's horrific. Anyway, she's much better. She's sleeping. And I guess I couldn't sleep. So this, boy, oh boy, oh boy. I would love it. This is one time I should have insisted that Mom come back to Oakland rather than our normal pattern, because then go to Raiders game. But whatever. I am where, as I like to say, I am where I'm supposed to be. Now, ML says, ML, thank you. ML writes, so we're here for you. Hey, I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm here for you guys too. I'm here to be your, hey, thanks Jamal. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's, what happened was that, just a bit of a digression. I think the temperature here dropped to 29 at night last night. And she gets this wheezing. And, when you're in your 80s, well, she would hate that I said this, but it's true. It's just something that you concerned about any age. But we have all the right stuff here to deal with it, and I made ginger tea for her and for myself. Hey, ginger's pretty good, right? I haven't had ginger tea before, where you just carve out the ginger, and then you boil it in hot water, and then you strain it, right? That's good stuff, healthy stuff. I feel great. I'm also wide awake. I'm like, Plus, okay, I got coffee on top of that too. Anyway, all right. I really appreciate you all hanging in there with me and allowing me to tell that story before I get to the other nitty gritty stuff going on. And the gritty nitty stuff going on, and there's the nitty gritty stuff going on is, how many of you are going to Sunday night's game? Oh, and by the way, if you are going to Sunday night's game, stop by Forever Oakland, 66th Coliseum Way there, okay? And say hi to Godfather Grizz and congratulate him on all the donations that he's gathering for people in need, food and clothing. It's really a admirable something, and I'm not there to help him physically, but I can help promote what he does through my social media network, right? So hey, thank you. So we've got Simus 1974, just left Aaron Jones Barbecue in town for the game. Am I going to the game? Nope, I'm not going. Wish I was going into the game, but hey, this is the next best place. My mom and I will be watching the game. Barry Lee says, didn't watch the game, was asleep, woke up for the stream. Thank you, Barry. Raider Ricky says, educate us. Greg Patterson says, hey, Zenny, I got married last week. Congratulations, man. Greg Patterson congratulations, my man. A shout out to your wife, Lovey, and congratulations on your marriage and your honeymoon. I have not had the pleasure of being married yet, and I hope that comes, but then I hope I meet that one. Who knows who it may be, but hey, whatever. Congratulations, and I thought I did meet that one before. That was Robin Greener. And then there was Tanya, and then there was, well, you get the idea. A lot of water under the bridge. Raider Kuko. Oh, Rick Rice, you the man. Raider Kuko says, hey, Zinni, I'm going to the game tomorrow. I think the Raiders will win tomorrow, only to break our hearts the next couple of games. It has been that type of year. You know, I am hopeful the Raiders win. Hey, Barry Lee, if you're tweeting this out, could you tweet hashtag, 2 hashtags, hashtag Raiders, hashtag Oakland. Thank you. Oh, and hashtag NFL. That's 3 hashtags. Okay, back to what I was saying. At first, I was certain the Dallas Cowboys were going to wipe the floor with the Raiders, but there's that magic thing called the Oakland Coliseum, and a big game like this, I don't know, you know. Michael Blackson, how are you? He says, I'm a Chargers fan and love your vids. Thank you so much, Mr. Blackson. It's quite nice of you to say. It really is. Oh, I forgot to put this on Facebook, which I'll do right now as I'm talking. Cooper is out tomorrow night. Yes, he is. In fact, I'm going to go right now to the NFL media website, and I'm going to get the latest injury report on the Raiders Cowboys game. So we'll start off with that. And do you realize that the Pittsburgh, and then we'll talk about the playoffs, because the Pittsburgh Steelers have already clinched a playoff berth. They've already clinched the division. That's done. So the Steelers are top dog, and the Patriots find themselves walking into what for them essentially is a must-win if they want home field advantage. So that's where the Patriots are. Surprisingly, isn't it? The world champion New England Patriots find themselves in a position. Now, the good news for the Patriots is basically they have waxed the floor at Heinz Field with the body that is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Will they do it again? We'll see. All right. Yeah, the NFL transactions. I don't have the injury reports here. The active list. Looking for the injury reports here. Don't practice squad. Nope. Oakland put, you may already know about this one though. Oakland put Duke defensive back. What's this? Hold on a second. I gotta look at this carefully. This is look at this with me, okay, folks. Look at this with me. This one. This is the Raiders. Brian Borders. Active list, okay. That is the contract terminated by players. What this is. Contracts terminated by player. All right, that's what that is. All right. Looking for the injury report. I see the transactions for 12/16. Oh, here's the injury report for Saturday. But I don't have it for Sunday. I only have it for Saturday. Let's see. Well, thought maybe we get it early. I see. This is the injury report for Saturday, but it covers all games. All right, so right now, the only game that's listed here, Week 15 injury report, Monday night, covers the Falcons at the Buccaneers. That's it. There's no other game here that's mentioned. That's all we got. That's interesting. Not the Raiders. Let me go scroll down and see if there's more. Injury report Friday should do it. And, okay, this is more complete, if you will, on a per-game basis. So let me scroll down and go to the Dallas Cowboys at the Oakland Raiders, which, if all goes according to Hoyle, should be listed alphabetically. It's not. It's listed another way. Rams at Seahawks. Ooh, a lot of juicy games. The Bills hosting the Dolphins. That's a fulcrum game. I'll explain what I mean by that in a little bit. Now, let's see here. Eagles at Giants. Titans at Niners. Cowboys at Raiders. Sunday night. Dallas Cowboys status report out. Linebacker Justin Durant, he's on concussion protocol. Defensive end David Irving, also concussion protocol. Cornerback Orlando Scandrick is back. Questionable wide receiver Bryce Butler, foot. Tackle Leo Collins, back. Malik Collins, foot. Tight end James Hanna, knee. Linebacker Sean Lee, hamstring and back. And the tackle Tyron Smith, back. They are questionable. Did not participate in practice. This is as of Wednesday, as of Friday, okay? And Rick Rice says Reggie let Borders get away. He needs to be fired. Another one. But that looks like, I don't know this, that's an interesting comment. We'll get back to that in a second, because Reggie has a way of letting a player go that he views as a malcontent in a way that is not such that it hampers his performance to the team. A true malcontent, not an on paper malcontent like Gailey and Conley. Okay, there's a big difference. All right. Anyway, did not participate in practice for the Cowboys. I mentioned on Wednesday the ones that are questionable and ones that did not participate in the Wednesday practice. Thursday, that was dropped from the list of gentlemen I mentioned that were questionable to 3 names. Bryce Butler, David Irving, and Orlando Scandrick did not participate in practice on Thursday. And then by Friday, the person who did, Sean Lee, didn't participate in practice. So limited participation, basically the same list of gentlemen. Full participation in practice, Justin Durant. So basically the Cowboys go into this game healthy. They have Ezekiel Elliott back. And so we're going to get the Cowboys at full strength for all impractical purposes. Now the Raiders, you've got out Amari Cooper, Mario Edwards, Obi Melifonwu, and Cleve Walford. Doubtful is cornerback David Emerson, foot questionable. D'Amico Audrey and John Feliciano was on the concussion protocol, and Keith McGill, knee. Did not participate in practice. This is a long list. Autry, Cooper, Edwards, Feliciano, Irvin. Bruce Irvin was not injury related. Khalil Mack, not injury related. That was on Wednesday. That's interesting. This is the second time this has happened on Wednesday for those two. Obi Melifonwu and Cleve Walford. Thursday, both Irvin and Mack came back. Emerson, Marshawn Lynch wasn't, but it wasn't injury related. Amari Cooper, Edwards, Melifonwu, and Walford, who's on the concussion protocol on Friday. We had everyone back, but Emerson, Cooper, Edwards, Melifonwu, and Walford. Limited participation in practice. Emerson, Jared Cook, wrist. Keith McGill, Autry, Cook, Feliciano on Thursday, and then Friday we're down to 2 who had limited participation. That was Feliciano and McGill. Full participation in practice. Coolwell Patterson, Owade, and Jihad Ward, who had a foot problem. Same list that was on Wednesday. Same list of gentlemen on Thursday. Friday, the list actually added 2 names. Added Alawale and Autry. So that's the last injury report we have related to the Cowboys-Raiders contest. Now, Richard Hike is in Las Vegas. Hey, Richard, how you doing? What say you? What were you doing in Las Vegas? And have you been able to go by the site? And if so, can you share with us, please, what you've seen? Welcome. Dilly dilly. Dilly dilly. Dilly dilly. Right. So while I wait for Richard Hike to determine that, I'm going to go to Twitter and see if there's any other juicy Cowboys Raiders tidbits that I should look out for. Ooh, which reminds me. I do go by there. You did? What did you see, Richard? And Richard says he did go by there. And I'm typing, what did you see? And let's see here. Rob Iman says, hope the winds will scour out the smoke in Fresno. Richard Lucero, how are you? He says, hi, Zinni, here in Oakland for the game. Or should I say Piedmont, California. Oh, of course, Rivers started to throw his interceptions. Go Raiders. Hey, if you're in Piedmont and you want great coffee and a place to luxuriate and relax, go to 41st in Piedmont. It's called Gaylord's Cafe. Great place. Then you can go, if you want, great bar, room 389 on Grand Avenue. Jermaine Potter says, hey, how are you? So I think Ezekiel Elliott is out this game. It's his last one. Let me double check on that one. Emil Scott says, I missed the dilly-dilly thing. What's up with that? I'll get to that in a second. Riley Kuko says, Ezekiel Elliott is still suspended. He's still suspended? Okay. They didn't list that. I thought he was supposed to be back. Okay, so they're not at full strength there. Richard Hike says, they have some equipment out there. Nothing major. A few water trucks, some backhoes. Wait a minute. That's all they've ever had out there. Water. I'm not kidding. That's not a joke. Water trucks and backhoes. Something is up. Rick Rice says he is Jermaine. Zinni doesn't want to admit he was wrong. I have no idea what that's about. Anyway, Rob Byman says it's a wish well greeting. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, Ezekiel Elliott? I could care whether I'm right or not. If he's still out, he's still out. If he's back, he's back. You know. But I'm about to check here just to make absolutely certain. That's all. I mean, now that I actually think about it, it would be cool to have Ezekiel Elliott in and the Cowboys at full strength, because you'd love to have this scenario where the Coliseum is just packed, right? Sunday night, nationally televised game, Cowboys at full strength, and the Raiders beat them. That would be huge, okay? That would be major league huge. Okay, now, let me see here. Viz Oakland. O-A-K. Viz Oakland. I'm looking to see what tweets. Richard Ike says, I did meet a guy who's working out there. He said that they're going to dig out that channel. Oh, did he say how long that's going to take? That's news. That's news. Did he say how long that's going to take, Richard? Okay, less than 24 hours away. Dow versus Oakland. What's the latest? Did he say how long that's going to take? Rick Rice says, and we lost Breon Borders to the Bills. Right, we did. I saw the headline earlier today. Rob Byman says, Chargers need to draft a QB next year. Pedro says he's pretty sure the Raiders have this game. Richard Hike says, no, haven't even started. A lot of waiting right now. Yeah, I mean, because they don't officially have the go-ahead to get started with construction because they haven't reached all the document agreements or approvals. So there that is. Now, let me go back to Twitter and see what the latest buzz is. Raiders going to Raider Nation representing Cowboys. Mary. A lady named Mary is going to Raider Nation representing the Cowboys and asks us to wish her luck. So to which I put a like, okay? Take a look at this, folks. Right? That's what she says. Going into Raider Nation representing Cowboys Nation tomorrow. Wish me luck. So I gave her a little thing. Excited for game tomorrow. Okay? And these are the latest tweets. All right, so you got then we got my 2 California picks. Cowboys 21, Raiders 24. Hate it. That's their official. Okay, and while we're at it, let me tweet this out here. Why not? Let's go over here. Go share. Do that. Go there, and then go. Hashtag Dal V-O-A-K. There. So there's my contribution to the to that, which seems will appear here. Twitter search. See how long it takes for it to appear. See, what happens is that when it is ready to come up, you'll see something up here that goes, it gives you a notification. Unless, of course, it's over here. And it's still shifting. See that? And not, okay. Raiders still have the top tweet. Latest is there. There it is. Ta-da! 41 seconds ago. So we just click on that. All right. Anybody want to retweet that like Barry Lee? That'd be cool. All right. Now getting back to your comments. Richard Hikes reports, he says, a lot of folks are in the dark here. They just know it's a done deal because they broke. I'm trying to get rid of this. Hold on a second. Oops. All right, cool. Because Richard says they broke, excuse me. I hate when that happens. All right. Cool. All right. Richard writes, a lot of folks are in the dark here. They just know it's a, quote, done deal, unquote, because they broke ground. At the same time, I get an I don't care. I'm a fill-in-the-blank fan from all of them. Oh, really? Hey, Richard, I'm going to use your take as a tweet. That's news, okay? That's news. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to put, I'm going to write Zenny 62 fan on Las Vegas Raiders, Las Vegas Oakland Raiders Stadium progress. And then I'm putting colon, and I'm basically copying, yeah. And yeah, and I'm putting hashtag Raiders, hashtag Oakland, hashtag NFL. Okay, cool. Yeah. And it's a tweet. Thanks, Rich. Let me show you what I did, just so that you are informed. This is what I did. Boom, boom. Right here, okay? It says, is any 62 fan on Las Vegas Raiders Stadium progress, Richard Hyatt? A lot of folks in the dark here, they just know it's a done deal because they broke ground. At the same time, I get an I don't care, I'm filling the blank fan from all of them, okay? So there you go. There's the latest news. It's better than what you're going to get from the rest of these folks around here on Twitter who are putting on this. Nice job, Richard Haidt. Rick Rice says Vegas is a joke. On who? That's what I'm trying. So I know it's a joke. I'm just trying to figure out if the joke is on themselves. You know, but yeah, it is. So getting back to the game, the matter in hand. I was trying to find some juicy information here. We got the injury report out of the way. We discussed the Twitter stuff as well. Going back to see if there's any interesting tweets that might be giveaways. You know what? While I'm looking for those tweets, I don't see anything. Let's take a look. We looked at the injury report. How about the rankings of the teams? For example, NFL offense 2017. Let's see which teams rank where. Okay, this should be quite fascinating. And as it comes up, NFL team total stats, National Football League from ESPN. Hey, so what do you think about Jerry Richardson and those allegations? I mean, Jerry Richardson, interesting, the owner of the Carolina Panthers who didn't want Cam Newton to have tattoos, that same guy. The champ is here. Okay. Net total yardage leaders. This is all NFL team total offense statistics 2007 to date, okay? New Orleans is number 1. And now Dallas is number 16 in total offense. Oakland is 20th, okay? So you have offenses that are in the middle of the pack. The Cowboys are at 16. They have 4,398 yards total offense. The Raiders have 4,289 yards total offense. For the Raiders, that comes down to 329.4 yards a game. The Cowboys are at 338.3 yards a game. You've got, let's see, in terms of passing, for passing, the Cowboys are at 2,611 yards. The Raiders are ahead of them at 3,092 yards. In terms of rushing, the Cowboys are at 1,787 yards. The Raiders are at 1,406 yards. So we see right now the Cowboys are, for all practical purposes, even. The Raiders are heavily leaning toward the pass in terms of their strength. Now, if we talk about defense, you click over, we go to defense. The #1 defense team, remember, offense sells tickets, defense wins championships. If you go by statistics, then the Super Bowl should be New Orleans versus Jacksonville. New Orleans is the #1 offense. Jacksonville is the #1 defense. Okay? Now, here's the thing. We scroll down. We find Jacksonville, Minnesota, Philadelphia, Denver, Carolina, Pittsburgh as the #1 defenses. Those are the top 6, followed by Atlanta, Arizona, Tennessee. Now, as we go down regarding our Dallas is number 17 regarding our guys. Oakland is 22nd. So this is not shaping up to look good because Oakland, by all rights, statistically, should lose a close game with the Cowboys. And the Cowboys have a better rushing attack than we do, which would imply a better ability to control the football. Now, Oakland has given up 350.8 yards of total offense versus Dallas 341.6. Of that, Oakland has given up, let's see, an average of 242 passing yards per game, 109.5 rushing yards per game. The Cowboys have given up an average of 107.4 rushing yards a game, but 234.2 passing yards per game. So as we look at this, this is interesting. The Raiders have given up a little bit more through the air, not as much on the ground as the Cowboys. They're about actually in the same, no, the Raiders have given up 2 more yards than the Cowboys. So the Cowboys have a rushing attack, statistically, that's in the same area as the Raiders, but their pass defense is better by a little bit. Both are, again, you know, they're middle of the pack, but they're kind of wider middle, all right? Whereas in offense, they're middle of the pack. This is an evenly matched game with the added note that Ezekiel Elliott is not in this game. So this is really going to come down to scheme. This really is going to come down to scheme as it looks. So let me get back to your comments. Hey, T. Cooper, how you doing? T. Cooper says we need to win tomorrow. Pedro says, hi, Dak Prescott, this is Khalil Mack. And Rob Iman asks, how much are the Panthers valued at? Don't know. T. Cooper says, hey, Zenny, just joined my any recap. Champ is in the building. Champ, nice to have you here. Wish I had a pizza. All right. Anyone have a... Okay, and here comes down to that thing I hate to do the most, the guessing game. But I will. I'm going to lay this out. I'm going to make a prediction that the Raiders top the Cowboys. And I say this with trepidation. The Raiders top the Cowboys 20-14. And the reason why I picked that score has to do with the magical place that the Coliseum is on a Sunday night for football. Okay? That's why. It's the 12th man. You know, Seattle talks about its 12th man. We talk about Raider Nation, right? We talk about the black hole. But that really is the ingredient. And that's that intangible I believe is going to add to this. I really do. On the other hand, given the history of the Raiders winning big games, if this doesn't happen, ooh boy, the hue and cry, the calls for change in the regime are going to be deafening. Just plain deafening. Bay Area says, when was the last time the Raiders beat Dallas? Let me see what the series is. Very good question. I'll have that answer for you in a second. Let's see here. Cowboys, Raiders, Dallas. Okay, try that again. Dallas versus Oakland series, NFL. Okay. This game previews there. Game day on Sunday night. Betting pick. Let's see here. The Raiders lead the series 6-5. According to footballdb.com, which is, and I'm reading, it's called FootballDB is database, right? According to footballdb.com, and this is a rather slow to open page. One moment, please. Here we are. Okay, to answer your question, the last time the two faced, the Dallas Cowboys defeated, I remember this game. This was the AT&T Stadium, and Cowboys versus opponents at home. The Cowboys won 31-24. The attendance was 87,572. Arlington, they won. The Raiders have, let's see, the point is, have the Cowboys ever won at the Coliseum? They lost in 2005. They lost in 2001. They won in 1995. So the last time the Cowboys won at the Coliseum was 1995. Okay. And that was 34-21. And then, of course, we go back to the LA Raider period. They only played in Los Angeles once. And then they played in 1980 at the Coliseum and won. And they lost. So, in the modern era, in the 21st century, the Cowboys have basically only won one game at the Coliseum. So there you are. The Cowboys have won one game. That's it. One game. Yeah. So this is interesting. It really is interesting. The closer you look at this game, both series perspective and statistical perspective, the better you like Oakland's chances. That's where this is, shaping up. Now let's see what others are saying about this as well, other than just me, right, or us, right? So, oh, by the way, I meant to report if I didn't before. Bay Area 408 says Dallas 28, Oakland 17. Anybody else have a prediction? Rick Rice, ML Scott, T. Cooper. Rick Rice says, what if Barry Lee is really Derek Carr? What if Barry Lee is really Derek Carr? I like that one. I like that one. Oh, Bill Bradley says the Raiders have a few advantages versus the Cowboys. This is from a guy at the Reboot Journal, and he gives a by-position breakdown, which, interesting. Here's why I don't like by-position breakdowns, because you don't know how the game plan is going to look. And a by-position breakdown makes the assumption that you're going to get a head-to-head matchup 100% of the time, and you don't. So that's why I don't do them. So, but, somebody has an editor out there that made them do that and all that, okay? So, like, for example, they had a matchup with the quarterbacks. They say the advantage is Cowboys. I mean, okay, I'll stop right there. I'm not reading that trash anymore. I'm just not. I just am kind of like, really? You can't match up one quarterback to the other because they play in different systems. So the only way you have an idea of how quarterbacks are going to perform is if they were in the Senior Bowl under one coach, right? But this way, I'm just not buying it. That's a waste. Sorry, that doesn't do anything for me. Now, going back to what you guys say, has anyone seen Derek Carr in person or Barry Lee? Yeah, Rick Rice, Barry Lee is on Zenny62. If you go to Zenny62 and type Barry Lee, you can see the videos that Barry Lee made, the video live streams of what he experienced during Hurricane Harvey. He was kind enough to post that here at Zenny62, and you can see what Barry Lee looks like. It's a series of videos. Hey, Kimberly Camel has Dallas Fort Worth. Dark Mex Attack says Mack and Irvin versus Tyrone Smith. Richard Hike says the Cowboy Coliseum scoreboard displayed 21-17 yesterday. Are you kidding me? Too funny. Too funny. That's absolutely hilarious. Let me tweet out one more time here. I just love this. I think. Oh, by the way, I forgot to put this on Facebook. I think I'll do that right now. Right now. Who is it? Do you say right now or do you say right now? I'm curious. What do you say? Dal, D-A-L, V-O-A-K. And post to Facebook. And it's posted. And it's posted. Okay, now Kimberly Campbell says the Dallas Cowboys for the win. Give us a score, Kimberly, and why. Dark Mex Attack writes, I hope Gay and Conley and Obi will be healthy next season. It would be nice. Give me a score, Kimberly. You say Dallas Cowboys for the win. Give me a score. Dark Mex, give me a score. Okay, here's my score. Raiders 20, Cowboys 14. That's my score. Black and white. Kimberly says 31-21 Dallas. Dank Mex, I said Dark Mex. Dank Mex, your turn. T Coop, your turn. Who's got a score for us? Who's got a score? Dank Mex says Raiders 27, Cowboys 17. Ooh. Any other predictions? I'm going to say, let's see here. Rob Ivan says, I'm 24-21 Oakland. Yeah. Boy, how exciting, you know? Boy, it's exciting. Woo. Exciting game. I think also the key for Oakland can be summed up in one word. I'm going to write it down. Unpredictability. Unpredictability. To the extent that the Raiders can be unpredictable both on offense and defense, they'll win. Because they're so evenly matched, they have to be. Saying you have to execute well is cliche. Rogues of the Night says 33-30 Cowboys will lose. They have no run defense. Arguably neither do the Raiders. Kimberly Campbell's adds, I say Dallas because they're the better team, but any team can win on any given Sunday. Good luck tomorrow. Hey, Kimberly, are you going to the game? Or are you just from Dallas and gracing us with your presence on my live stream? Tony Piling says 16-10 Raiders. ML Scott says Raiders 27, Cowboys 24. Corey Brown says Raiders 24, Cowboys 23. Raiders get running game going and Carr throws for 250. I like that one. You know why? I'm dying to see the Raiders come back to use I formation again, and this time throw out of it. Play action. It would be so nice, you know? Rob Iman says, will the Niners beat the Titans tomorrow? That's going to be a great game. You know, the Fulcrum game, Dank Mex Attack says, Dallas is not a better team if Raiders' offensive scheme and better play calling season would be different. I agree. John Marks, how are you, sir? Welcome. Kimmy Campbell says, I'm a Cowboys fan watching from home. You live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I have a friend who's she just became a Dallas police officer. I just love her to death. She's Her birthday comes up, Gabby. Gabby's great. John, nice to see you, man. So, John, give us a score. Kimberly's giving us a score. She's our newcomer here. Please, Kimberly, subscribe to Zenny62. Love to have you back. And Vincent, how you doing? Vincent Lasfino says, which teams do you see going to the Super Bowl? All right, I'm now ready to answer that question. I see right now the AFC, I see the New England Patriots returning. No, I don't. The AFC picture has suddenly become murky for me, okay? All right, I'll give you a range since I have a murkiness about me still. In the NFC, I think the Eagles or the Panthers. The Panthers are playing, they're starting to play scary ball. They are starting to play scary defense. So the Panthers, having been there before, are starting to really look like that team. I thought the Falcons, but, you know, I'm not quite certain about the Falcons there. And we'll get a better look at the Panthers when they face the Falcons on New Year's Eve, in what promises to be a hell of a game, the way things are going. But the Panthers, the Eagles and the Panthers in the AFC, and you have to say the Steelers or the Patriots. So there you are. Now, you can make an argument that Jacksonville should be the third team under consideration for one very powerful reason. Jacksonville has the NFL's best defense. That's why. So, Big Eightful, how you doing? Vincent said we could see 3 NFC South teams in. Yeah, we could. We could. Big Eightful says Raiders 45, Cowboys 43. Each team has no D. Straight shootout. What up, John? And Kimberly says she's been subscribed to Zenny62, my channel, for 3 years. Kimberly, thank you so very, very much. Thank you. And yeah, now we've just started doing the live stream this year, right? So thank you. Thank you. This is great. We just need some barbecue. One of these days I'm going to do this live. Vincent says Panthers. That would be a nice surprise. Yeah. Big Eightful says, how are you? Vincent says, I repeated that one. Kimberly says, I need the Packers, Panthers, and Falcons to lose tomorrow. Yep, you do. And the Raiders need the Miami to beat Buffalo. If Buffalo beats Miami and the Raiders lose to the Cowboys, forget it. You can forget it. The Titans also need to lose. Right now, the way things look in the AFC, you've got the Ravens and the Titans staring at that wild card spot. So you want to hope that the Ravens lose as well. That's the way that shakes out. So, but that Miami Bills game is a very important one. Very important one. Vincent says, do you think the Vikings have a shot? I think they had a shot until, you know, the Panthers changed my mind about the Vikings. Because, look, the Vikings cannot overcome a defense as fast, as physical as Jacksonville's or Carolina's. Let's see here. Vincent, that's what I'm saying there, all right? Dankmex says, who do you think we should draft for the first and second round? I say linebackers and cornerback. You know what? I'll tell you who I think we should draft for the first round. I think we should go after Stanford running back Bryce Love. Local Heisman Trophy runner-up. Raiders really need a young breakaway halfback. Because right now the Raiders don't have, and I know you're talking about Lynch and everything, but look, Marshawn lacks the scheme flexibility that Bryce Love brings. Bryce Love would be a wonderful complementary back to Marshawn, who could really play more of the battering role. and we have a 2 running back, battering ram system. But what we lack, and I don't see Marshawn as quite, I saw him as that, but when I think of him with respect to Bryce Love, I think of Bryce Love as that extra ingredient that gives you a triplet. Wide receivers, Patterson, Cooper, Crabtree, right? Derek Carr, quarterback. E.J. Manuel, backup. Then Bryce Love from Stanford. I think Bryce Love would really be a wonderful addition to the Raiders. Bernard says the Raiders are getting blown out. Kimberly says, I hope so. Vincent says, what active QBs do you see eventually going to the Hall of Fame? So far, Brady, Breeze, Rodgers, Roethlisberger, Manning, Eli, Rivers, and Ryan so far. Active quarterback going to the Hall of Fame. Interesting, you left out Matt Stafford, who is the highest paid NFL player. So you got to put in Matt Stafford, without question. And beyond Matt Stafford, I think you pretty much covered it in terms of eventually, and then also Jameis Winston. Jameis, pure numbers for someone just 3 years into the league are just outstanding. And on the other hand, you have to say that Jameis has been mishandled offensively. His best days are ahead of him, but even when you look at his current body of work, sure, he has the interceptions, but he has the yards and he has the touchdowns. And he has a steadily increasing passer rating year after year. So it's very difficult to argue that Jameis Winston is not on a track to eventually be a Hall of Fame QB. I was about to put Mariota in that list, but I'm not sold on. I'm not sold on Marcus Mariota yet. He can be that, but he has this tendency to throw that pick six, and it's like, okay, well, Marcus has got his pick six out of the way, so now we have to clean up, right? So Bernard says, what matter who we draft, right? John Mark says, Matt Stafford, Tom Brady, possibly Ben Roethlisberger. Vincent says, I was talking about locks. Oh, well, I think Jameis Winston's a lock. I really do. Dankmek says, should Raiders keep Navarro Bowman for the next season? Yes. Make him a player coach. Kimberly Campbell says, if Sean Lee doesn't play tomorrow, y'all's chances of beating us go up to 70%. Well, guess what? Sean Lee is questionable, as I read the report. So let's see what happens. But I am really interested in the degree to which the Cowboys run a kind of a running back by committee approach and attack us off tackle on the sides. Yeah, because if they attack us off tackle, it's going to be a long day for the Raiders. Line buck, off tackle with the Raiders, with the Cowboys line and the way they zone block, it's going to be a long day if they do that. Unless the Raiders go 8 in the box. Tony Piling says, Deshaun Kaiser will be a beast next year. Yep. Vincent says, he's a great player, but he only plays like 5 games a year. Now, who are you talking about? Vincent says, referring to Sean Lee. Okay, gotcha. Referring to Sean Lee, gotcha. Hey, folks, it's 2:11 in the morning, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to be back tomorrow. I may start the live stream in the middle of the game, like after the first half. No, actually, I'm not going to do that. I'll start the live stream afterward, okay? Thankmek says, will Todd be fired after? Yes. He will be. I think what will happen, much of the Raiders' future will depend on the outcome of this contest. Let me put it this way. If the Raiders win out, Del Rio keeps his job and makes some changes. He makes some offensive coordinator changes. But if the Raiders don't win out, Del Rio gets axed. It's that simple. Starting with this game. Because you have the Raiders, and then here come the Eagles. Okay? So this is the best job test for Jack Del Rio. Right here, right now. Okay, so yeah, Vincent said I did hear that Vince McMahon might bring the XFL back, and you're looking at the creator of a game called the XFL Sim World. All you have to do is type XFL Sim World, Zenny Abraham. You can read all about it. Rob Iman says John Green might return in the front office capacity. Kimberly Campbell says, "Oh, you'll see. I'll see you later, Kimberly, and thank you for subscribing. And if you have any ideas or story coverage ideas, please send me a message. Thank you." Melvin Lovejoy says, "Can they afford to pay out the rest of his contract?" Talking about Del Rio. Yeah, if they want to make a change. Ravescript says Vince McMahon needs to bring back the XFL. I agree. You know, he just got the main reason the XFL didn't work is because they did not focus on getting players that people heard of. Okay, remember He Hate Me? It was like, okay, fine, but now you have many players out there that made names in college, names for themselves in college, names for themselves in the NFL, and want another shot. You have players that go to the regional combines, right? There's a lot of football talent out there such that the XFL could work better now than in 2001, okay? So I think the time is now for the XFL. I really do. And not only that, if it really pays attention to new media, which didn't exist then, but then the same kind of shtick, I think it really soar. I really do. So, Doc May says, Raiders have a better chance of winning against Eagles with no Wentz. No, Nick Foles bombed the Raiders before. He's got that confidence in him to do that. Melvin Lovejoy says, I hope they keep him and get more experienced coaches, but cleaning house is an option. Rave Script says, I support a demerger of the NFL, bring back the AFL, and keep the Patriots in the NFL. Interesting. While Byman says, XFL could be a developmental league for the NFL if it's done right. Yeah, I agree with you. And Big April says, I see a whole new coaching staff next year. Josh McDaniels as head coach, or maybe David Shaw. They pay a lot of money for Coach Shaw, because he's already making big money at Stanford. He may be making more money. In fact, let me see something here. I want to see Jack Del Rio. Hold on a second. I think you know where I might be going with this. Hold on a second. Jack Del Rio. Oh, by the way, who's seen the Last Jedi? Del Rio contract. Jack Del Rio contract. Let's see here. He signed a 4-year contract extension. Jack Del Rio salary. Jack Del Rio salary. Jack is making $3.5 million a year. Okay? So Jack Del Rio makes $3.5 million a year. All right? So David Shaw salary. Stanford. David Shaw makes $4.1 million at Stanford. Okay? So yeah. According to he's making his salary nearly doubled. So that was incentives. That was according to 2014. So basically, yeah. So in 2014, Shaw made more than Del Rio at Stanford. So there's no John Marks asked why. Well, because Stanford values what Shaw does. And, I mean, that's what it boils down to, okay? He made $2.2 million in 2003. And he was in the top 13 nationally then, okay? It's also 4 times what Jim Harbaugh earned in 2010 and when he was with Stanford. And John Powers made $3.6 million as president of the management company that was in charge of Stanford's endowment. All right, so they're not. So that's it. But I know that. Look, they've got, they being Stanford, have an exceptionally well-funded program. They have a $500 million endowment for the football program alone. So they can afford to give Coach Shaw basically what is, you gotta say, it was just heaven. I mean, he's not under pressure to, you know, win the Rose Bowl every year. He's not under pressure to give Stanford a national championship, although it'd be nice. All he's expected to do is precisely what he does, and that's make sure that Stanford maintains its competitiveness. He does that. He's done that better than any other coach in the modern era of Stanford. I mean, look, he's Stanford's winningest coach in its history. Let's put it that way. Passing Pop Warner, okay, if I'm not mistaken. So, wow, I mean, that's amazing. You would have to pay, if you wanted to pry Coach Shaw loose, I think you'd have to pay him somewhere in the neighborhood of $6 or $7 million. You'd have to make it worth his while, and you'd have to give him, I would think, a 5-year guarantee. Okay, something like that. Vincent says, do you think Trump is trying to destroy the NFL? You know, I don't think so right now. But if he turns around, he being President Trump, and imposes that tax exemption removal provision, if he adds that back into the bill, my answer will be yeah. Right now, I think that what he was doing was more headline grabbing and attention seeking and distraction creating, excuse me. So there, okay. Rob Iman says yes. John Mark says yes. Ray Script says, by the way, where'd you hear the XFL rumor? On Twitter. Just happened to run by my eyes, literally, as I was on Twitter about, a couple hours ago? Yeah. All right, folks, Vincent says, Trump said that the Disney-Fox deal will help create jobs, even though it will lay off 10,000 people. Well, it will lay off 10,000 people, but you know, I'm not going to say something stupid about that. I'm not going to say that Trump is right. I find the deal exciting for reasons having to do with Disney's future as a Disney fan, okay, since I was 6. But I haven't looked at the employment impact one way or the other to speak intelligently from that perspective. Oh, by the way, the whole idea that net neutrality will be maintained after net neutrality law is removed is BS. Just saying. Barry Lee says, good night. Oh, Rafe says, I've been on top of... Oh, he hasn't heard about it. Yeah, just type XFL in Twitter. Peace out, everybody. It's late. Dangmex says, do you think net neutrality be saved? Yes, I do. But we have to take action. Write your congressperson or just tweet them. Just let them know you want net neutrality to be maintained. That's what you have to do. Peace out, everybody. See you. Praise God. Okay? There's John Marks would say, you bet your last money it's all going to be a Stonehat gas on you. Was that Crawford who would say that? Good night, everybody. Rave Scripps found it. He says, oh my God, you're right. The XFL's coming back. Ding. Good night, everybody. So I'll see you tomorrow. See ya. Interesting things in the Stadium Authority live stream? Yes, Corey. It's called Cover Up. I'll talk to you about that later. See ya.